Is it better to throw all your extra income towards paying off debt, or is it better to get out of debt before investing in cash-producing assets? That really is up to you. I'm not the person that's in charge of your finances, but you're in charge of your finances. And so is it more important for you to put all your extra income towards debt so that you can feel the exhilaration of being completely debt-free? What's the main reason why you have for wanting to pay off your debt? Have you come to that place where you feel like you're totally being suffocated, where you feel like you're being tortured and tormented by a slave driver, and those slave drivers are Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover? Is it that you feel like someone is beating the living tar out of you and causing you to have no great vision for your future because of all the department store credit cards that you have or the medical debt that you're carrying? You see, I came to a place where enough was enough. It's so weird that when we first start this life of debt, it just starts like little by little. It's like the sneaky little thing that slips into our life that we don't realize is actually pulling the oxygen right out of our veins. We just learn to live with it, right? So we start with what? I remember the very first time buying a new car and financing it and thinking, oh my gosh, it's only $200 and some odd a month. This was a long time ago, by the way. But I remember feeling like I'm getting such a good deal. And I never once thought about the fact that this is a brand new car that's losing 30% of its value the minute I drove it off the lot, and that I was going to pay for this sucker for 5 years. I was going to pay 2, 3, maybe 4 times more for this car than what it would be worth by the time it was at the end of the 5 years. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even add up how much interest I was paying on a monthly basis that could have gone towards something much more important than just my Hyundai, which, by the way, when those first came out, they were a hunk of junk and everyone knew. It's kind of an embarrassment to drive one of those. But that's, hey, I could afford the $200 and some odd a month. Thought it was such a cool thing. But man, the more and more you do this, the more you feel the suffering of it. And so if you find yourself stressed out and you're worried about money, then your answer to your question should be obvious. Should you be putting all your extra income towards paying off your debt? What have you to gain for doing that? You gain a life back. You get a life back. I've had so many clients actually do this, friend, where they literally just went, all right. In fact, I've even had some of them start a little business that they're working from home, generating a few extra $100 a month, and then eventually turned into a few $1,000s a month, where they just said, okay, this business is for totally annihilating all of our debt. 100% of the work that we're doing with this little business here on the side is just going straight to all the credit card, the car payments, the medical bills, and the mortgage. We're just going to pay all this stuff down. So that was actually a motivation for them, that they had segregated that money to go towards this particular project. And when you start doing this, friend, I know it for me, when Hans and I started paying off debt, and this was like, it was almost like justice or something. I'm serious. It was like, yes. I felt like I was like some warrior with a sword in my hand. I'm like, I'm going to fight and I'm going to win and I'm going to slice down everything that is totally sucking the life out of me and my future. And what was it? Yeah, Walmart was sucking the life out of my future. Yes, my freaking habit of blowing cash on clothes and jewelry and shoes, even though I had a closet filled to the brim of all of it, that was sucking the life out of my future. Okay, here was another thing that was sucking the life out of my future. Yes, my eating habits. Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, spending $1,200 a month on food. This was sucking the life out of my future. This is why we were living paycheck to paycheck. This is why we were staying up at night worrying about money. This is why I was looking at the future and just seeing nothing but pain in the future. And so when we first started, it started to get fun. It did. And why? Because we had a plan. We had a plan that we were going to totally cut way back on what we were spending on food. And now all that money that we took our food budget to $1,200 to about half, about between $500 and $600 a month, and that included toilet paper, that included diapers at the time. Okay, so when we took that $500-600 a month off, right? Then it was like, okay, bam. So I just felt like every time I was sitting, not making a minimum monthly payment, but putting $600 towards that car. I mean, towards to that car payment and towards the credit cards. When I was taking that giant chunk and just attacking the debt, I felt like Wonder Woman. Yeah, like, Can you feel the steam? Like, it really was awesome. And friend, I want you to feel that. I really do.